PT has been remade almost as many times as Flappy Bird at this point. There's been an Unreal Engine port, Project Dreams, Project Spark, Super Mario Maker, Little Big Planet, Watch Dogs, Half-Life Alyx, and even an IRL port of the game. But there's never been a mobile port of PT in the history of the world. And I, low-level Lemmy, will be the first one to make it. I'm gonna make a PT clone that Kojima himself would be proud of. PT! And to do that, I'm gonna have to understand every nook and cranny of the original PT game. PT is almost considered haunted at this point.
Hitting the gritty.
Despite coming out 8 years ago, there are still new things being discovered about PT to this day. Only a select few people have access to PT in 2023 because it was taken off the PlayStation Store. Lucky for us, my brother got me to download PT when it first came out. If you delete it, you can't get it back. PT was released on the PlayStation Store just 4 days after FNAF came out. There has never been a more horrifying week in the history of humanity. I plugged in my PS4 and opened PT. I was greeted with the scariest sight imaginable. A Japanese developer's backyard.
This is the backyard of one of our staff members. We thought someone also might catch him that is like typical Japanese backyard.
Wow.
Then you see a quote. Watch out, the gap in the door. It's a separate reality. The only me is me. Are you sure the only you is you? Your head's on the cement, you see 2 cockroaches stuck together, then the door cracks open, and if you zoom in, there's somebody there. You get up and have a look around. You're in a small dark room. There's a wooden table here, but it's too dark to see anything on it. So you have no other choice than to go through that door.
Originally, we were thinking of making a game that would make you pee your pants, but at this point, we've changed our minds, and we are aiming for a game that will make you shit your pants. But one thing that you have to keep in mind is that if a game is too scary, people just won't play it. But in this case, we're totally ignoring that, and you know what, if you don't want to keep playing through the game, so be it, we don't care. That's the game we are aiming for. We're aiming for a game that will make you shit your pants, and so yeah, that's... So please make sure you have some changes. The limited edition will probably include a pair of trousers for everyone.
Collector's edition.
Wow. Yeah, so this goes without saying, PT is going to be extremely scary. It's the scariest game ever made. This is your chance, you know, if you're scared easily, now is the time. And you're met with the hallway that's just pretty much the average hallway. There's alcoholic drinks littered around, there's cans everywhere, everything's a mess, there's prescription tablet wrappers all over the place.
Pills here!
There's a teddy bear on the ground, and all the paintings make no sense. It's a lot like my own house. As you walk through this hallway, you hear a report about a guy that murdered his entire family.
This brutal killing took place while the family was gathered at home on a Sunday afternoon.
There's a chandelier, there's a bathroom door that's locked, and there's a nice picture frame of this husband and wife.
Hello, Twitter world.
But there is one door that works, and when you enter it, it's the same hallway.
Isn't this that?
This is the same hallway!
The same.
Like corn water in the canned corn.
Before we continue anymore, I'm gonna have to recreate everything we've just seen in a game engine. I want the scale to be perfect, but I do not really know how to make it scale accurate, so I just tried my best. Use this YouTube thumbnail to help guide me, and I drew on it, and I came out with this.
Wow.
Then I started creating props. I littered them throughout the environment. There's 52 different framed paintings slash pictures in PT. Now, I'm not a painter or a photographer, so I went around the house and took pictures of paintings in my own home. That's only the start of the meticity of this game, because I got my grandparents to be the photos in PT. So thank you, Grandma, Grandpa. I also took a picture of my toilet for this painting because I think it looks kind of similar. And lastly, the radio message.
Look behind you. I said, look behind you.
Oh, I forgot one thing. The sound of the lamp. The lamp has an iconic sound effect. Right when I heard it, I knew exactly who it sounded like. The comedian Bobby Lee.
My son, I love you so much. And I gotta tell you, the only heart that you can have is mine.
Thank you, Daddy.
Aww.
But did you hear it? So now that we got the hallway, there's just one last question. How do we make it loop? Because of a programming YouTuber named Norm Macdonald, I know how they did it. All they do is when you open the door and do the animation, they spawn a new hallway and delete the third hallway if it exists. Here's the footage from outside. Now there is a lot of problems with getting the hallway to loop and I suffered through it, but now check this out.
Wow.
The second loop of the hallway is just like the first, except this door is now closed. 2 cockroaches fall from the sky, and the bathroom door pounds. You find a broken photo frame on the ground, which teaches you about the right stick zoom in function. When you walk back, the door is now open. The only thing that makes this hallway different is that. My version. All it is a simple box trigger and a sound effect.
Wow.
You proceed to the third loop where nothing is different. So you go to leave and the door closes on you. You're stuck in the hallway till the bathroom door creaks open. Cockroaches spill out. Then a baby cries. You press the button to zoom in and get jump scared. Then the door opens, you leave into another damn hallway. Now my version. I modeled Lisa and animated the door segment. Triggered it with the raycast when you zoom in and BAM! Very scary. Next hallway. You turn the corner and see her. When you get close, the lights turn off, then flick on again. There's cockroaches everywhere, but you're free to leave. This was easy to do with simple box triggers, but we're still missing cockroaches. Next hallway. You turn the corner and this happens. You pick up the flashlight and meet a baby. Oh, hey, what's up? The door closed behind you, so you have to wait through a 50-second scare sequence where music plays and the baby cries. You could also just make out Norman Reedus in the mirror. The door eventually opens and you leave. Did you know that Lisa could be seen outside of the bathroom during this segment? Thanks to Lance McDonald, we know this. My version. I modeled the baby and Norman Reedus for the mirror reflection.
Bruh.
Looks pretty good. Next hallway. This is where it gets real. You're in danger now. The radio is playing the same message as before, except much more haunted. Oh, and Lisa is following you. You could hear her extra footstep and even see her shadow behind you. But when you turn around, you see nothing. The picture frame now says gouge it out, but you don't know what that means, so you proceed. But everything is just like before. You get jump scared and wake up at the basement, but this time without your cockroach. Now that we have a flashlight, we could finally see what's on the table, which is just a paper bag.
I walked.
Who talks to you?
I could do nothing but walk.
You leave the basement and decide to press the X on the gouge it out picture frame. You hear a sound effect, so you know you've progressed, and you continue on to the next hallway. My version. I modeled a paper bag and animated it, and I got my grandpa to voice act.
I walked. I could do nothing but walk.
The gouge it out functionality was easy to add. But you know what won't be easy to add? The Lisa shadow. I have no clue how to do this, but McDonald came to the rescue. Lisa's 3D model is actually behind the player, which is what casts the shadow. So I made Lisa follow you, and using an extra light that only affects her, we get her shadow. I also added the extra footstep and her moans. But what about her jump scare? There's no way for me to know what triggers the jump scare exactly, but it only happens the second time you loop without gouging it out. So I just set a random timer that'll jump scare you upon entering the second hallway. Now I don't mean to brag, but I'm not an animator at all, and I somehow managed to animate a jump scare 1,000 times better than the flagship PT clone on the market.
Oh God! You made me jump. Okay, so what you did there was wrong.
Lisa looks like a damn lava lamp. This is called Unreal PT, and while it's very impressive, it's not at all a replacement for the original PT.
I'm using something called Unreal PT. It's literally indistinguishable from the original game.
My game, on the other hand, is a one-to-one perfect recreation of PT. Next hallway! After the gouge it out segment, PT decided to give us a break, so nothing really eventful happens in this hallway. This is just simple animating and a trigger to trigger it all. Very simple. Next, hallway. A fridge leaking with blood is somehow dangling in this hallway.
Killing his family, the father hung himself with the garden hose they had in the garage.
2 pieces of writing on the wall appear. Besides that, you're free to leave this hallway. This one's pretty easy. All you do is replace the lantern with a blood fridge and change the lights to red. Very simple. Next hallway. Everything is the same except the fridge is going AWOL. The word hello appears on the wall. But besides that, everything's the same. So we continue on to the next hallway and it's still the exact same, which means we're in danger and there's a puzzle. If you look at hello, then look away, the L in hello will disappear and appear here. I could hear them calling me from L. Keep doing this. Once you're done, it spells out, I could hear them calling me from hell, and you could progress to the next hallway. Oh, and I forgot to mention, while you're solving this puzzle, Lisa will try and kill you. Here she is in the mirror. Okay, so this is going to be the hardest hallway to recreate so far because Lisa has her AI. Before, it was kind of just a set of triggers and this and that and the other one. Now, she needs to think for herself. So after hours of analysis on this game, I discovered exactly what makes Lisa tick. After a set amount of time in the hallway, the music will start to play and Lisa will spawn into the map. Now there's 2 different types of Lisas that could spawn. A Lisa that just wants to troll, and a Lisa that actually wants to jump scare you. First, the troll Lisas. Troll Lisa could appear in the window or the bathroom mirror. The bathroom mirror is the most common location for Lisa to spawn. They cannot hurt you in any way as far as I know from my testing. Next, mean Lisas that want to jump scare you. She'll either spawn in the entry hallway or the hallway with the radio in it. And if you get too close, she'll towards you. And then you are in the possessed mode, which means Lisa's right behind you walking and you hear her footsteps, and when you stand still, you hear her moans. A jump scare is imminent when this happens. So I went ahead and added all this to the game. It was a bunch of work, but it came out really nice. The hardest thing was the mirror Lisa. Now the mirror Lisa is visible inside the mirror, but not in real life. For the jump scare Lisas, when you get close to them, they'll to you just like in the original game. And then a random timer will be set, then they'll jump scare you. Now for the hello text, that was really easy. I just reused the same functionality from the doorway jump scare, and yeah, it was easy. Next hallway. After the blood fridge, they probably want to give us a break because nothing really happens in this hallway except the blood fridge gets replaced by a red swinging lantern. Oh, and the radio starts speaking Sweden.
Is this Swedish?
My version. Get my grandpa to voice act the Swedish.
Close your eyes. Let your ears listen to the radio. Do you hear my voice? Can you hear your own soul scream? Let us choose my voice that tells the future or your tortured mind.
And then make the red lantern swing. That's it. Next hallway. You run fast now. The hallway becomes different than you remember, and all the picture frames are eyeballs now. You'll keep running through infinite hallways unless you find a hole in the wall, press the stick to look in, and text appears above the hole and you can't run anymore. If you turn back, you see this. And when you enter the bathroom, the baby just goes off on you.
Got fired, so you drowned your sorrows in booze. She had to get a part-time job working a grocery store cash register. Only reason she could earn a wage at all is the manager liked how she looked in a skirt.
Yo, Zan, get your boy, dog. He's little, dude. What's going on? Yo, hey, what?
Fun fact, the only glitch I've discovered in the entirety of PT is this.
Got fired. You got... You...
You walk through a super long hallway and return to the familiar sight you know and love. For the eyeball paintings, I recorded my own eyeball with my phone and made a flipbook material out of it. Slap it on every picture frame and bam, it looks amazing. There's some post-processing on the screen that I tried to recreate. It's whatever. The peephole sequence was pretty straightforward except for the audio. I tried recreating the audio the best I could. Here's what I came up with.
I've got a message for all you folks down there in Radio Land. Now's the time for action.
I'm keeping it just the normal hallway because mobile users could get lost in the big hallway, and also it's too hard. Next hallway! All the lights are on and the baby is missing from the bathroom. Remember when I said 3 seconds ago that this was the only glitch I've ever discovered in PT? Well, I lied, because in this hallway, there's a glitch. After some time wandering around, your screen glitches, you hear some demonic stuff. 204863. Then your game finally crashes on one of 6 crash screens. Here are they. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then the game just straight up restarts. And now you're in the last hallway of the game. My version, pretty straightforward. Turn on all the lights and make a material for the game camera to have a glitch thing, and also have your grandpa record some more scary 204863 dialogue.
20483 period. 20483.
Make a crash screen and make your character wake up again at the basement and you're all set. Next hallway. Give yourself a pat on the back for making it this far into the video, because we are now at the very last part of PT. The nightmare is about to end. You're in the end game, baby. The hallway keeps looping infinitely and everything's dark. If you spend too much time in the hallway, Lisa will start haunting you and the clock will turn to 0. And occasionally your flashlight will change into a different color. Besides that, nothing is different about this hallway. The puzzle to beat the game is extremely tedious and very hard. Kojima intended it to take over a week to complete.
I personally expected this to take at least a week to be solved, and I was really surprised it took less than half a day, so yeah, I underestimated the current fans, the current players.
But some British girl live streaming with 3 viewers revealed the ending of the game the same day it came out.
Oh god, I feel so good! I feel good, I feel pumped. Oh my god! Hideo Kojima! What?
So how do you beat PT? Simple. You need to trigger 3 baby laughs. The first one's easy. You walk 10 steps and stop. The second one is impossible. The third one, you just stand still and then your controller will vibrate and the baby will laugh. After that, the phone will ring. You look into it. Then you hear the unlock sound, and upon leaving, you get the ending cutscene. So how do we trigger the second baby laugh? Well, it's not actually impossible, but it's very hard, and to this day, no one seems to know how. Except for me, I figured it out. First person to seemingly crack the case was a YouTuber called The Great Debate. He did all this crazy math and all this insane stuff that I can't even comprehend, and he came out to the name Jareth. How does the name Jareth apply to PT whatsoever? Well, if you plug in your mic into the PlayStation and say Jareth, 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 then you'll get the second baby laugh. I refuse to believe that you needed a microphone to beat PT, so I tried for hours to trigger the second baby laugh with no success, and I also got jump scared. Then I conceded. I plugged in my microphone, but I said everything under the sun but Jareth. Low-level Lemmy, Agario, the Bible, Five Nights at Freddy's, Scott Cawthon, Sam Porter Bridges, Death Stranding. Oh, screw it. Jareth. 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 And I got the laugh. This tells us you definitely need a mic to beat PT. People claiming that you don't probably don't realize that the PlayStation camera is a mic. But is what we're supposed to say actually Jareth? There's no way Kojima picked that goofy name. But then again, one of the crash screens is signed with a J, so maybe he's right. Psych, PlayStation officially confirmed it in a blog post. The name is Jack. Throughout the ending loops, you'll randomly hear reverse dialogue like this. If you reverse it, you hear this.
We share an instant of private darkness.
If you translate and reverse every audio, you'll get instructions on how to beat the game.
Until I stood one pace before Jack.
Jack meaning the playing card.
Jack is a bounty hunter and he's going after a criminal,
which has a value of 10, so walk 10 steps. I whispered his name. Say Jack into the mic.
Jack, how do you know if you're a lesbian?
Cold and shivering all over. Your controller vibrating. Never moving a step. His hand in mine. I waited for it to pass. Don't touch your controller and wait. So obviously, guys, it's Jack, not Jareth. There's also an entire aspect of PT I haven't even mentioned yet because I never implemented it, but there's a torn up picture frame of Lisa. We saw this on the ground earlier. There's picture fragments that you could pick up throughout the game to complete the Lisa picture. It'll say a message on the screen each time you collect one, usually in a different language. And if you translate them all, it'll also give you instructions on how to beat the game. There's even a page in the pause menu.
Wow.
But sadly, collecting all the pages changes nothing as far as I know. The phone rings. So you look at it,
chosen.
Then walk out, and you get the cutscene that reveals what you've been playing. My version. Keeping in the spirit of PT, I decided to add my own secret puzzle for you to find out. It's very easy and is something that can only be done on mobile. That's your hint. Once you trigger it, the phone will ring. Got my grandpa to voice act again.
You've been chosen.
And upon leaving the hallway, my custom-made cutscene will play, which I'm not showing here. But believe it or not, this game is far from done. It's only playable on PC. We need to somehow port it to mobile. You know, the whole reason for this entire video. Gosh, that was easy. But if we release this game in this state, I would get 100% sued. This is because I used all the music from the original game. Now I could 3D model, animate, code, texture, make all the sound effects, but the one thing I can't do is music. I need to come up with an easy replacement for the music and also the jump scare sound effects. Me trying to recreate music from scratch is a disaster. But if we just take the original song and edit it to the point where it's pretty much unrecognizable, then I couldn't get copy striked, right? So I converted the songs into my own tasteful remix. Before, after. Okay, I know it's god-awful, but it's the best I could do. Now for the jump scare sound effect. I couldn't convert this to MIDI because it's not musical, but I guess we could just bass boost it. And with that, the game is finished. For some reason, the mirror doesn't work all the time, but I can't fix it. I was able to beat the entire game on my phone, but for some people, it might just start crashing. I don't know. Also, I don't have an Android to test on, so if you're downloading this from the Play Store, it might not even work. I don't know, I just never tested. But that's just the low-level Lemmy warranty guarantee. This game has no ads, and I had to pay $100 to get it on the Play Store. So follow me on Twitter, and eventually we'll have enough followers to have polls where you could vote on what I include in my following games. Also, I forgot to add the cockroaches. It wasn't because it was too hard or anything. Maybe I'll make another video where you play as the cockroach or something, but till then, no cockroaches. So what are you waiting for? Download the game on both Android and iOS app stores, or just click the first link in the description.